God is so much love. He is so much love. Yet He is equally also so much wrath. That, my friend, if you deal with hidden sin and you never expose sin in your heart, you never expose the real hidden sin in your heart, that you'll stand before Him, and because He has to, because He's so much truth, and because He placed His word over His name, He'll have to look at you and say, "Depart from me, you worker of iniquity, I know you not." Because I never had your heart. I never had the deep issues of your heart. There was always another lover of your heart. And I appreciate your service, and I appreciate even how you were in ministry and you wasted your life, giving your life to me. And I appreciate you doing all these things. But my friend, I never had your heart. I never had your heart. Understand that Jesus is not okay with an open relationship. It's not okay for you to go sleep around with everything else that you want to and then come back to Christ. He will not share you. My friend, here in the Deep South, how many of you brothers would be okay with your wife just going out and playing the whore among everybody else and then coming back to you? But as long as she came back to you, you'd be okay with it. No. No. There would be some fiery anger with some artillery and some ammo behind it. Why? Because you don't want just a piece of her heart. You don't want her just to love you only when it's convenient. You want all of her heart. Otherwise, just take it away. That's why Christ says, "I wish that you were hot or cold. But if you're lukewarm, I'll spit you out of my mouth." If you're lukewarm, I spit at you. And what I was doing is coming to an altar and trying to get intimate with Jesus, because everybody loves the moments where you really feel Him. And I was trying to get intimate with Jesus and get really close to Him, and He was spitting in my face. I was saying, "Lord, kiss me with the kisses of your word," but He was spitting in my face. Because He never had my heart. He never had all of me. I was never willing to look dirty before man to be clean before God. So I would hold on to hidden sin, thinking that He would look over it and lead worship and people would feel it. And there'd be all this other stuff. But the hidden sin inside of me separated me from Him. And my friend, I look at you tonight and I beg you. I beg you. Do not hold on to hidden sin. It's not worth it. Regardless of denominational belief, regardless of whatever's going on in this city, my friend, standing or sitting where you are right now before the Lord, if you have hidden sin in your heart and you have to meet Him, He'll have to look at you and say, "You can't be here because I never had your heart." That's why He'll expose, big, high famous ministers when they fall into sin. Not because He wants to expose them and make them look bad, but because He wants their heart more than He wants their ministry. He wants your heart more than He wants your service. My friend, there's no better feeling after looking so dirty. There were things I had even forgot about that came to my memory today that he and I talked about. Even though I looked so dirty before Him, there were moments that He looked at me and just went. Just take it in. I mean, sin is filthy. It's filthy. And though I was so dirty before man, and understand, confession didn't do it alone. I looked at Him and said, "Whatever you tell me to do, if you set me down, if you remove me, if you send me home, I want to be clean more than I want to look like I'm clean. And I would rather look dirty before you, and you look at me and say, 'Wow, man, how could that person have done that? Such a hypocrite, such an immoral person.' I'd rather look dirty in front of people, but lay my head down every night and know that he that has clean hands and a pure heart shall ascend the hill of the Lord." Understand this, and I'll finish. I was coming to service every Sunday and coming every Wednesday, trying to play piano, trying to sing, trying to even travel and do ministry on a much smaller scale. And I was trying to have a compromising lifestyle and thinking that God would bless it if I would just be away from sin long enough. My friend, abstinence is not freedom. Abstinence from sin is not freedom. And I would come in and understand this. An abomination by definition is an unclean meat prepared for sacrifice. And we live our lives like hell all week. And we come in on Sunday and we try to lift up unholy hands to a holy God. And it's an abomination before Him. Understand, He wants your heart. And my friend, if you're sitting there and you're thinking, I don't even know how to get free. I got a position. I've got a family. If you have a family and you're bound in this thing, it's raping your purity and stealing your intimacy from you and your wife anyway. It's stealing it anyway. Your heart's given to a fantasy.
Yeah.
But understand this, just because Moses isn't strong enough to hold his arms up by himself, just because he couldn't hold him up by himself in chapter 17 does not disqualify him from seeing His goodness and being on the mountain in chapter 33.
Come on.
Just because he couldn't do it on his own. Just because he killed a man earlier in life and hid it. Just because he fled, just because he had all these things happen, did not disqualify him from seeing His face in chapter 33. My friend, please, 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 do not hold on to hidden sin. Do not hold on to it. Because at the end of the day and at the end of your life, you give an account for your life. And how horrible would it be to spend your whole life and stand before Him and Him have to look at you and say, I appreciate that, but I never had your heart. I never had all of you. He wants all of us, my friend.